can't believe it. Akro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus. Unbelievable. Akro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? My. He's just a little twerp, isn't he? Well, that's one way to put it. Hey, pal. You gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Oh! Detective Gumshoe! Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Now why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. This was yesterday in Akro's room. The result of our investigation, you can look at it later. Won't Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. What plan? Von Karma looked like she was in a pretty big hurry, though. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were put into place. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Judgment comes at the very last instant. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm going home. What did he mean by that, the very last instant part? Everything is seeming pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Ah! Don't scare me like that! It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some sort of dairy, so hurry up and drink it before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me? Wow, they must really think that he's gonna be spoken guilty.
This court is now in session. Shall we continue our proceedings? Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Akro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Akro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Jingling.
Yes, Your Honor?
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want answers to. I have a question. Why the hell is she still in court? She's like the second most useless assistant in the Ace Attorney games that I've played. When we were little... I have a problem with saying little today. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. You mean at around the age of 9 years? I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You know, no living for my own sake, for the sake of my brother, only for this guy. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Akro could kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Akro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer the question. Of course I'll question him. That's such a stupid... What the... Okay, games. What the hell is the point of giving me a dialogue option or a decision option if there's technically nothing I do that would anyway make sense of changing the outcome. If I don't question him now, I basically give up on the trial. So what would be the point? We? Yes, my brother Sean and I.
What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Akko? I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us. Well, bots can't be very critical about it anyway. Because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, apparently.
Oh!
There's no crying in court. Goddamn right, just like Tom Hanks told me there's no crying in baseball.
The witness may proceed with his testimony.
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. So the other people in the circus were kind of there.
What about other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story! That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Akro such a wonderful person? I know. He seems like a nice guy. Which is what makes this so difficult. No, it doesn't.
So then how long have you been a performer?
You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. I suddenly imagine a very muscle-bound 9-year-old. Scary. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. 2 people is not a group. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. I haven't. Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You are truly a remarkable young man.
The judge keeps looking at Akro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Doesn't matter if the guy's really nice to you, doesn't mean that at some point he didn't piss you off or anything like that. Especially during the teenager years. You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Oh, believe me, I'm thinking hard and steady yet. Oh, you mean about the case? Yeah, I'll think about it. Ow! Ow, ow, ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say this, but I agree with them. Nobody cares about your idea or opinion. Shut up, Maya! I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. Being a jerk is not that bad.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this witness would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty much unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
What was Agra's motive for killing the ringmaster? How about it? Can you explain that to me?
Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Akro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Akro had no reason to kill the the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, "This is the real killer of Russellberry Ringmaster." If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Akro, you didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murder plot was not the Ringmaster. He did not plan to kill Russellberry. What?
Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must!
Okay, we're gonna slap the judge, and we're gonna slap Franziska, who's gonna slap me back. I'm totally okay with that. We're gonna smack Phoenix around a few good times. We're gonna piss Maya off with a few smacks. The peanut gallery can all jump out the window. Yeah, we've got about everyone.
Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Oh!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Akro was trying to kill someone else? Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Akro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It is a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. Doesn't mean it isn't any less leading, so he technically would be allowed to not say anything. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is "you're wrong," and that's it. No, saying "you're wrong" would mean that he didn't have a reason to kill Regina, meaning that he'd be lying. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to— Oh!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence now! I want to know why Akro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Akro was out to kill this young girl. Alright, Mr. Wright.
At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence.
This better not be a bluff. You're not going to— Oh!
You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Those two are finishing each other's sentences now. Hey, fuck you, man! The scarf is a reason why. Jeez, fine. I'll present this little asshole, who somehow looks like Chop from Final Fantasy X. And if you played the game, you know that he looks like Titus. God, I hate that guy. What the hell? You guys can go fuck yourselves. That's the reason why he wanted her dead. God damn it. Yes, a note I scribbled is much better reason why I want her dead than my brother currently in a coma, or the scarf that I kept that is his, which leads to the accident for which I blame her. Makes perfect sense! It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Akro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
There's just one little problem.
Problem?
Akro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Barry.
Mr. Wright, this is a theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father... I mean, the ringmaster read the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that sort of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro said it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly. You know, considering that picture showed him sort of looking out, I'm pretty sure he could have had the wheelchair plugged so that it wouldn't move, and he would have been able to lean down or lean out of the window a bit more to see what was going on. I don't think physics are so bad that if you lean a little too much, you immediately fall over. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? Hey, sweetie! Sweetie Pie Princess! Somebody tried to kill you! Be proud of yourself. She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher for her. I hope Regina can handle it. Something tells me she isn't gonna change.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Uh-huh. That's a line in the note, all right. Well then, if the note was sent to Regina Barry, it must mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. Quite honestly, I always thought he was meant as a murderer for shooting Leon. Goddamn right he's a murderer. That asshole. In place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened that day. Moron!
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? Shut up, Maya! Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
The victim would arrive and try to take away the wooden box. That's when they'd discover the decisive evidence found inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim?
Who is this?
This is Akro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead? Technically, that's true. However, Butt has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Akro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Akro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Akro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder, he's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Oh, come on, Francisca. This world doesn't have accidents, or homicide, or actual self-defense. It's just murder everywhere. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? I suppose it was truly an accident. It's essential that a man knows when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
It's impossible to prove Regina's involvement in the murder attempt, isn't it?
Instigating a lion to attack. Who ever heard of something like that? I don't read many mysteries, but I'm sure it's been used before. And to think that the defense claims this was conclusive evidence. A small bottle of pepper, a lion. What's their connection? What's the matter, Nick? I figured it out. It was right in front of my nose the entire time. Your Honor, wait!
What is it?
The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Akro's brother Bat.
That's just a scarf.
Akro, this scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who was the one that gave this scarf to Buck? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina?
There is something more than just blood on the scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave the scarf to Bud right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Don't you think he would have noticed that? What's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal.
Hey, shut up, it can totally be done to gay guys. It's not just a woman thing.
But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Regina gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bitten by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze. Cats sneeze too. Leon didn't plan on biting Butt at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. And that asshole killed Leon because of a sneeze! God, I hate the ringmaster. He sneezed because of all the pepper spread on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Van Kalma?
I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this... You believe it? You really plan to say this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth.
The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Butt lost consciousness. Akro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot! So it's a joke of an accident to you, huh? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Akro? You don't mean... You can't mean... Witness?
Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster... Where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be more precise. Murder weapon?
The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Akro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
It would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something! Shut up, Maya. Stop breaking his very rarely done concentration. We might as well, though, as we learned, it's already been done. The defense requests to search the room of the witness, King Dingling. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now, you must know the meaning of Von Karma total justice.
You mean...
A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Akro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Akro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Akro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like the coup de grâce in this case was ever so sweet. You know, you don't seem to know French very well, Capcom translating team. Unless the word after it starts with a vowel? With an A, E, I, etc., etc. You do not write D apostrophe. You still write DE. Coup de grâce. If it was coup d'état, D''E, then it would be that way. But not in this case. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them? Mr. Wright, no offense, but the important evidence here is about the death of the ringmaster. I think you should remember that. Oh. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now? Where's the bust right now? You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do. Shut up, Maya. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is?
It seems that this case is coming to a close.
Not fast enough for my liking. Thank you for your support. Ah! Now if you please excuse me, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
And there we go. Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. We need time to do what? Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? She's just somebody. She's a pet I have to take care of.
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Is he talking to me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck! Once again, she fucks things up and expects me to do the work for her. God, you're worse than Skyward Sword Zelda! Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the lines, don't they? That's how Aqua's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
The defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll find one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust right now? It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obvious?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Akko, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off of your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under the blanket. Oh, he's hiding something. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you could laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you couldn't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Kama happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Akko, I have to ask you again. Could you please remove the blanket from the wheelchair? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. By the way, in the sprite that we saw from behind of him, we should be able to see the goddamn bust if it was there. How could you... You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them. 2 of them. Miss Franziska von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon... There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing! You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. It was totally planned. Shut up. I can't believe it. I failed! Why did I order a surprise search on your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It doesn't matter now, though. It seems as if we'd arrived at the truth. Accro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russellberry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Accro! All my brother did was want Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. What is it with guys always thinking that teasing a girl's gonna make her like you? Teasing is not fun. It's fun for a while, but if you continuously do it, it just pisses us the fuck off. Yes, we may pay attention to you. It's not the attention that you want. Really, teasing us repeatedly isn't gonna make us like you. It's gonna make us be fucking annoyed with you. Quit it! One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf in pepper. I know she didn't want anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. No, you're guilty of... blowing this up into massive proportions. You're older than her. You practically knew her. Well, let me calculate. Well, you knew her for a large portion of your life. You think you would realize very fast that she's, not the type to really do things in a bad way, but no, sometimes she screws up, but she doesn't really know that it's bad. Blame her father for bringing her up like that. So you should know she doesn't really have any proper guilt in that. And you have no reason to somehow feel that you didn't understand her. You had enough time to figure her out. Your brother became a star. Regina believed in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when he decided to do something about Regina. What do you mean by that? I don't know. What the hell do you think he was going to do, Franziska?
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
Yes, it's all a victim. Everybody's a victim, but he's mostly the biggest victim. No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case.
More like annoying.
It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
Loud, obnoxious, and annoying. And kind of a waste of my time after a while. Anyway, yes, this is actually the first real sympathetic murderer, if you will. Which... I don't really feel that sorry for Akro because he focused on a stupid reason to make Regina feel guilty, knowing that she would never think that. And then he decides, you know what? You're so mean. I'm just gonna kill you. That was gonna make sense. Ace Attorney can't even get me to care about a sympathetic murderer. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Akro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Butt. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Congratulations, Mr. Max! Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Akro. No. If you worry about people too much, you will be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault. Sweetie pie. Akro, you're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina? Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Akro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean Akro is gonna try and get his revenge on me? He's not going to do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure I can believe that? Yes, Akro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. Yeah, now that he has killed, you know, the one person that was the sole purpose for living. Akro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. But... That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. Yes. But now that Akro's been caught... I know. What? I'll do it. Stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. Until he can meet Akro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. As we learned in a cameo she gets in one of the later games, one that I haven't played yet, or at least not fully, she doesn't seem to have changed very much. We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. Such a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn the circus into the best circus this world has ever seen! The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh! Amazing. Yay! I can't wait! Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max!
Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy?
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been.
Bones right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry.
Nick?
It seems like everything is going to turn out alright here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
Of course, we couldn't finish the case with that one last annoying laugh of Moe's. What made the case?
Just like you thought. Yesterday's search really paid off, sir. You had it all figured out yesterday, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Akko really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. Do me a favor and try to not be too harsh on Akko. Once I get back, I'll make a stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office.
Yes, sir. I'll be waiting for you. Goodbye, Mr. Edgeworth.
You look good in blue. By the way, I'm going to take a break from this game now. Focus more on my other LPs. Because I definitely need a break from Ace Attorney before I replay Case 2-4. My second most hated case in the Phoenix trilogy.